We are never hurt by the end of a relationship. We are hurt by the illusion of it. Sigmund Freud. Day one, after breaking up with a dismissive avoidant, you scroll through their social media. They're laughing, partying, looking untouched. And you can't sleep. You can't eat. Your chest feels like a stone. And the question screaming in your head, did I ever matter to them? But here's the truth. What you miss isn't really them. What you miss is the version of yourself who still believed they could love you the way you needed. You miss that belief. You miss that hope. And that's why you're stuck, replaying every text, every word, as if there's some secret way to fix it. The truth is different. Avoidants aren't truly fine. They've just switched off their feelings. They're running from their pain. And you don't need to wait for them to feel before you're allowed to heal. Today, day one, after breakup isn't the day you lost them. It's the day you get the chance to reclaim yourself. Here's the part. No one tells you about avoidance. On the outside, they look like they don't care. They go silent. They cut off contact. They might even say flatly, no, I don't want to be friends. I don't need closure. And you, the one left behind, are stuck with the haunting question, so did I mean nothing to them? But what you don't see is the way they've learned to survive. Their nervous system is trained to shut down feelings, especially in the first 4-8 weeks after a breakup. They bury emotions so deep it looks as if they don't exist. They drown them out with work, parties, nights out, endless scrolling. Not because they don't feel, but because feeling feels unsafe. Every time someone gets too close, their inner alarm blares. Pull away, don't let them see. And here's the paradox. The more you mattered, the more dangerous you felt to them. Because real attachment means real risk. And that's something avoidants were never taught to handle from childhood. So on day one, while you're crushed under the weight of loss, they may look like they're breathing a sigh of relief. But don't be fooled by appearances. That's not peace. That's survival mode. They freeze their feelings to stay safe. But feelings don't disappear. They only wait. And sooner or later, they resurface. Dismissive avoidants are, at their core, emotional suppressors. After a breakup, the relief they display isn't freedom from love, it's freedom from pressure. The pressure to be vulnerable, the pressure to stay when closeness feels suffocating. So in those first days, they tell themselves, I'm free again, I can breathe. But that sense of freedom is an illusion. What they've really done is bury unresolved emotions deep inside. And buried emotions never vanish, they wait. Which is why, after weeks or months, the boomerang hits. Suddenly, they remember the good moments. They start to wonder, how are they doing? Do they think of me? And that's when they might send a random meme or a casual text. Hey, how are you? But don't mistake this for readiness to return. More often than not, it's a search for validation. Do you still care? Am I still significant? That need itself reveals the insecurity within. The story of an avoidant after breakup doesn't unfold all at once. It comes in stages. And day one, the day they look calm, stoic, unshaken, isn't strength at all. It's denial dressed up as control. And this is where their journey quietly splits from yours. So if you're the one left behind, don't mistake our silence for truth. Don't assume that just because we look fine, you never mattered. You did. Maybe more than we could handle. The absence of reaction isn't absence of care. It's evidence of avoidance. And here's the twist. This story isn't just about us. It's about you, too. Because while we run from feelings, you're left holding them all. You ache for closure. You dissect every text. You replay every conversation, hoping for a hidden clue. And the hardest part, you stayed long after we left emotionally. That's the wound you now have to face. Not the wound of our leaving, but the wound of your own self-abandonment. You kept trying, hoping, holding on, even when deep down, you knew we weren't there anymore. And that truth cuts deeper than the breakup itself. You were alone, even inside the relationship. But within that pain lies a deeper revelation. Healing isn't just about understanding us. It's about recognizing where you abandoned yourself to keep something alive that was already gone. Because when you face that moment honestly, you'll realize this ending isn't only loss. It's an invitation. An invitation to start again, not in waiting, but in returning. Returning to yourself. So what do you do on your day one? You stop chasing closure from us. You stop searching our silence for meaning. Instead, you turn inward. Ask yourself, what did I allow in this relationship? Where did I abandon myself to keep it alive? What red flags did I silence just to stay? Write it. Say it. Not to shame yourself, but to see clearly. Radical honesty isn't cruelty, it's clarity. And clarity is love the kind you owe yourself. Step 2, the sacred reframe. After honesty comes reframing. Our avoidance is not proof that you're unworthy. It's proof that we couldn't meet you where you are. Say it. I allowed myself to stay where my needs weren't met. That's not failure. That's power. Because if you allowed it, you can change it. You can choose differently next time. This is the shift from victim to author. You're no longer telling the story, I was abandoned, but I stayed where I wasn't met. And if you stayed, you also have the power to leave. That is sovereignty. Step 3, identify the mirror. Now, look deeper. What did my avoidant partner reflect back to me? Their distance may mirror how you distance from your own emotions. Their coldness may echo the feelings you've silenced to survive. Ask yourself, where did I shrink just to keep the peace? Where did I call crumbs a feast? Where did I idealize them for qualities I secretly crave in myself? This is shadow work, and shadow work is sacred because every trait you admired in them, independence, composure, self-control, might actually be seeds within you, waiting for your attention. Step 4, grieve without fantasy. And then you grieve. But not for us, not for someone who walked away. You grieve for the version of you who stayed, the one who tried to earn love, the one who waited to be chosen. Let her rest, let her cry, and then let her rise. Grief isn't weakness. It's a bridge, a passage to the next chapter where love isn't begged for, but lived from within. Don't feed the fantasy of if only they changed. They didn't. And the truth is you don't need them to change to start living again. Step 5, rebuild from wholeness. Finally, you rebuild. Not by fixing us, not by chasing validation, but by choosing yourself in the smallest daily ways. Keep promises to yourself. Even something simple, like going to bed on time. Say no when it hurts. Say yes when it heals. Build a life where your worth isn't up for debate. Security isn't something someone gives you. It's something you become. When you keep your own word, when you live aligned with your emotions, when you craft boundaries that are both clear and compassionate, that's when you rise whole again. So yes, on day 1, it looks like we're fine, but appearances deceive. And your healing cannot wait for our timeline. You don't need to track the calendar, counting down the weeks until our boomerang effect kicks in. You don't need to wonder when we'll finally miss you, when we'll drop that casual text, when we'll send that meaningless meme. Your healing isn't on our clock. What you need is to stay with yourself right now. You don't really miss us. You miss the version of you who still believed, if I just try harder, if I just love more, they'll see me, they'll love me. You miss her innocence. You miss her hope, and that's okay. Cry for her, the one who waited in vain. Grieve for her, the one who traded her peace to hold on to a love already unraveling. But don't go back to find her in the arms of someone who already left. She doesn't need us. She needs you. She needs you to step forward and whisper, from now on, I will protect you. The truth is, this was never just a love story. It's a story of becoming. When an avoidant leaves, they don't just leave silence, they leave behind a hollow space. And in that space, you now have the chance to return to yourself. And maybe, just maybe, the thing you fear most is the very thing that will save you. Realizing you don't need them back to feel whole. You just need to stop abandoning yourself. So today isn't about waiting. It's not about watching their feeds or hoping for their return. Today is about reclaiming what was always yours. Your worth, your clarity, your voice. This ending isn't a punishment. It's an invitation to finally live aligned, to finally protect the one person who's been with you all along. Not them, you. If this landed for you, tell me in the comments, which part cracked you open? Was it realizing you stayed long after we had already left emotionally? Or was it when you saw that you don't actually miss us, you miss the version of you who still believed we could love you differently? I want to hear you. Not just so you can vent, but so you can know you are not alone. There's a whole community of people learning to come back home to themselves, learning not to abandon their own hearts anymore. And if you're ready to rebuild with clarity, with strength, with peace, subscribe. Every week, I'll bring you reminders, lessons, and reflections to anchor you back to this truth. You were never broken, not once. You've only been on the path of return. Let this not be a story of running from pain, but a story of coming home to wholeness. I'm not here to fix you. I'm here to walk beside you, to remind you when you forget that you are still worthy, still enough, still whole. So don't call this your ending. Call it your invitation. Call it your return. This is not the end of your story. This is your return to the self you've been waiting for all along.